Climate Education Partners, or CEP, is working to share science about our changing climate with regional leaders. With a solid scientific foundation, our leaders can make informed decisions on how to best preserve the quality of life in San Diego. San Diegans love the outdoors and are committed to preserving our quality of life, clean air, drinking water, beaches, bays, mountains, deserts, and ocean. But the region is already experiencing impacts of a changing climate that challenge our precious natural resources, tourism, and regional economy. Unless our priorities shift toward reducing emissions of heat-trapping gases and managing the risk of climate change, these impacts are projected to continue to worsen for our children and their children after the year 2050. The San Diego visitor industry is the third largest industry in the county and critical to the region's economy, employing over 180,000 individuals. But due to a changing climate, San Diego is suffering from beach erosion, coastal flooding, and hotter days. Therefore, the tourism industry has had to address sustainability and climate change. Let's take a closer look at what one business, Grand Pacific Resorts, is doing to develop sustainable hospitality practices in order to mitigate and adapt to the changing climate. Headquartered in Carlsbad, California, Grand Pacific Resorts is one of the oldest and largest vacation ownership companies based in California, managing 20 properties in California and Hawaii. Grand Pacific Resorts is a leader in sustainable hospitality practices. Several of its resorts have been recognized with the RCI Green Award, including Grand Pacific Palisades Resort and Hotel in Carlsbad, which earned a Platinum RCI Green Award in 2014. The company has worked with Green Key Global, an environmental certification body offering a suite of programs and resources designed specifically for the lodging industry. Grand Pacific Resorts took advantage of SDG&E's incentive and rebate programs to install smart thermostats in resort rooms and LED lighting in many resorts, reducing energy usage by almost 1 million kilowatts. Total investment for these retrofits was approximately $15,000, with $40,000 savings in 1 year due to decreased energy use. Using rebates and incentives from the San Diego County Water Authority and Metropolitan Water District, Grand Pacific Resort Properties in Southern California installed succulent gardens and indigenous, drought-resistant landscaping. Due to these actions, they reduced the need for water by 50% and resulted in $11,000 in cost savings across the property portfolio. One of the resort general managers organized a green team consisting of employees who identify opportunities to reduce waste and save resorts money at the same time. Grand Pacific Resorts also has a Going Green program in place to communicate with customers about recycling, saving energy, and other sustainability efforts. Although there have been many successes, there are also ongoing challenges that Grand Pacific Resorts staff and leadership continue to address. In particular, allocating resources to sustainability or conservation projects, calculating cost-benefit analysis of individual properties, identifying metrics that show cause and effect of sustainability initiatives, developing marketing materials and communicating sustainability efforts clearly to customers and employees, and finally, understanding and planning in response to changes in the regulatory environment. Grand Pacific Resorts learned it's important to make sure future capital planning includes a budget for sustainability-related projects, and taking advantage of utility incentive and rebate programs also helps significantly. They also learned it's important to have clear cost-benefit numbers. Even basic ROIs can help motivate people. Another important lesson is accountability. Requiring projects to be done and auditing to ensure they happen sometimes has to be the pathway to achieve sustainability goals. And finally, education of employees and guests is critical. Grand Pacific Resorts works to find engaging tactics such as quizzes that make people aware of surprising statistics and facts to get people's attention. Grand Pacific Resorts also has a section in their employee newsletter about their Going Green efforts and asks guests and associates to send in other ideas that could help save costs and promote conservation. Amanda Montijo, general manager of the Coronado Beach Resort at Grand Pacific Resorts, says it starts with education about the various aspects of sustainability, education about how to motivate customers and employees, and education about resources that exist within the industry. Several years ago, Grand Pacific Resorts had to evacuate two resorts due to wildfire, and they have experienced issues related to flooding because of more intense precipitation events. They are now focusing on assessing the risk of their properties from these kinds of events and creating plans and protocols to deal with them going forward. They will also focus on climate action plans, which includes better understanding how these plans impact their company, costs to implement actions, and how they can help the jurisdictions in which they operate meet their goals. Businesses like Grand Pacific Resorts are taking action to understand the causes and consequences of climate change in the region and to lessen its impacts, and they are not the only ones. San Diego has a growing community of leaders and organizations from various sectors who have found innovative solutions to tackle climate risk and are working to address climate change impacts not only for our quality of life today, but for all future generations. Join the conversation and discover more on Climate Education Partners' social media and website.